All right, so let's talk a bit about Kotlin extensions, or KTX. Now, what KTX is basically a set of extensions for Android and Kotlin. Now, since Kotlin allows us to extend functionality of classes that we do not own, okay, so we can add methods, functions, parameters to classes that we do not own without actually extending those classes. So since Kotlin allows us to do that, what Google has done is they have created a library that provides a whole bunch of extended functionality for various classes. And of course, it's quite hard to be exhaustive here because there are multiple functions in multiple libraries that are extended. But in this lecture, I'm going to give you just an example of what that is, what is done. And we're going to talk a bit about what we are going to do and how we are going to extend some code in the existing functionality. Now, Kotlin, or let's say KTX, uses, in order to extend the functionality of basic Android and Kotlin, uses a few different, let's say, features of the Kotlin language. So they use extension functions, they use properties, lambdas, name parameters. Okay, so all of these allow us to then utilize, or it facilitates for us, utilizing some methodologies, some functions from existing Android libraries. So let me just give you an example of what is implemented in the KTX library. And then I will attach to this lecture more documentation so you can have a look to see what is interesting for you and for your project, okay? Because I cannot extensively cover everything in this course. Otherwise, we would spend the whole course only on KTX. But I have provided links to the official Google documentation that detail all the functionality that they implement, okay? And of course, that functionality evolves over time, so it's usually better to refer to the Google library, which is updated constantly, rather than try to be exhaustive here, because that functionality might change. Right, so one of the, let's say, important examples that they do, that KTX implements, is to create values in shared preferences. And we will actually be using this particular functionality later in our code when we actually start to store shared preference values. Now, let's say you want to put a certain number of variables in shared preferences. So the way we used to do that is we have our shared preferences object, we edit it, we put a variable with a name and a value, and then we commit, okay? And then next time we put another variable, the same operation and commit, and a third time as well in a similar fashion. Now, what KTX allows us to do is allows us to group these operations together and only edit the shared preferences object once and then commit all of them simultaneously. So we can write something like this. We can edit with a commit equals true, and then we can put the long variable, the string, and the int variable all in the same lambda block, okay, without doing this multiple times, without editing the object multiple times. So that obviously saves us a lot of, let's say, processing power. It's more efficient to do it this way, but it's also more readable, I would say. So that's kind of an example of what KTX does, but of course, KTX implements extensions for multiple libraries and multiple components of the Android system, not only shared preferences. Now, just to give you an idea of what we are going to be using this extension functionality for, we will extend the image view class, okay, which is a component of the Android system. We will extend it to load images automatically, and we will be using Glide to load that automatically, while also providing some error handling and some spinner for when the image is loading, to show the user that there is something going on in the background and the image has not yet arrived. So we will create an extension function for the image view class, where we will put all this functionality. And we will do that right in the next lecture. So I would say let's end this kind of introductory part here, and let's go right into some coding.